just to give a general overview of it as well, like people say, oh, it's about money. It's very important. People say, oh, it's about fitness. That's very important as well. And then they also say it's always about status. For the most part, guys, it's all these combined because guess what? They're all important. One is not more important than the other. However, money's kind of like the foundation, you could say, and then fitness is kind of like the middle part, and then the icing is clout, because with clout you kind of bypass a lot of these, but with money you kind of have like overall glue towards becoming high value. So for the most part, in this case, we're going to cover 8 options here to make you a high value male, and what you need to know. So.
Yeah. So we'll start with number 1, guys. All right. So the number 1 thing you guys got to understand to be a high value guy is it's going to come.
Round 1, fight.
It's going to come at a cost, guys. And what we mean by that is that you're going to have to put your nose to the grinder and literally like work a lot and be prepared to work a lot, especially when you're young in your 20s. I always say, if you work hard in your 20s, right, you'll be able to chill in your 30s, to some degree. I mean, you're still going to be working in your 30s, but you're setting yourself up with a foundation where you're going to be able to kind of have the fruits of your labor, and it's going to suck because you guys are going to miss parties. You're going to miss social situations. You're going to miss, hanging out with friends. You might lose women, because you're going to be so focused on becoming better. But you got to understand that you got to build your empire when you're still young. If you're trying to build your empire at 40 years old or whatever it may be, man, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys it can't be done, but it's going to be significantly harder the later you get into life. You're not going to have as much energy. You're not going to have as much time. God forbid you have a family or anything like that. That's really going to mess you up with as far as like trying to build your empire. And this is why I always say, I did a podcast, guys, a couple weeks ago where I said 5 things you need before you join any type of LTR. And the 5 things were be 35 years old, make $100,000 a year, 6 months of savings in the bank, have a notch count of 50, and then be in shape. And this is what I call makes you what I call an entry-level high-value male, right? And the reason why this is so important is because when you have these things, you're going to be able to exert boundaries on women quite frankly, you're getting Pokemon badges. You know what I'm saying? So when you tell her to do things, she's going to respect you and she's going to listen to you. Because at the end of the day, we all know, guys, that women are fundamentally incapable of leading a man within the confinements of a relationship. So you need to put yourself in a leadership position by, quite frankly, being higher status than her.
Yeah.
What are you going to say?
No, facts, man. And what's funny about it? Like, sacrifice is very important, because even for me, like when I first came to America, I didn't date girls for a year and a half, bro. I literally stuck my pedal to the metal, went to work, watched YouTube videos on how to invest, how to become a better man. At the same time, I knew after I finished this process, and people call it monk mode, I call it just sacrifice, straight up. Mm-hmm. Like at the beginning, you have to do that. And when I finished that year and a half of just like working on myself, improving, all that stuff, bro, like literally, I kind of leveled up. Mm-hmm. So I was dating like maybe 4s and 5s when I first got here. Mm-hmm. So every now and then when I off of work, I would date 4 or 5, I'd go on a date on a weekend, whatever. And then the moment I upgraded my lifestyle, my life, and then like my experience, bro, literally I went from like 4s and 5s to like 7s and 8s.
Yep.
And then next year, okay, what's the next level? Once again, sacrifice, 9s and 10s. So guys, at some point in life, you have to sacrifice your time and your energy, because you're going to need to grow. And the only way you can do that is when you take a break off of women and you focus on your passion, your purpose, or whatever that might be.
And let's keep it a buck, man. I'll tell you guys right now from like personal experience, when I'm getting the most girls, typically I'm like spending the most money and I'm like not making as much money. You know what I'm saying? And because the thing is, the things that you need to display to be good with women typically are counterproductive to success from a financial standpoint. You need to go out often. You need to talk to a lot of girls. You need to be sourcing a lot of girls. You need to be taking a lot of proactive steps to be able to source women correctly with adequate volume. You know what I'm saying? So with that, but unfortunately, these things are counterproductive to you being productive as far as from a financial standpoint, building your business. Yep. So I hate to say, and I don't like to use this term monk mode, because a lot of guys will use that as an excuse to not cold approach women. Yep. But there are no cap. There's going to be times where you're going to have to 100% put women on the back burner and focus on something going on. I'll give you guys a perfect example right now. So when we were building the studio the past 2 weeks or so, I've been, especially last week, I went on like only maybe 1 or 2 dates last week. You know what I mean? And I didn't go until like the studio was done towards the end of the week. And I understood that there was no way I was going to be able to go on a date, source correctly, everything like that, and get the studio done at the same time. You know what I'm saying? It's like, go ahead, Fresh.
Guys, real talk, we flaked on chicks just to finish the studio.
Facts.
Like we just said, we can't go tonight when we're busy on the studio, maybe later on. And look, we lost some peace leave, so to speak, for this. But guess what? Now it's finished, and now we're set up. Now we can have parties here, we can have events here. When you guys come to visit us in Miami, you have a place to go to. So now we've took a sacrifice at the beginning for the end result.
Yeah. So, and by the way, we got our boy Andrew here, guys. If you guys want to get mad at somebody for the phone call earlier, it was him. Shout out to Andrew. He's here.
He's going to be on the Zoom call later, guys, on Patreon.
Yeah, he's going to be on the Zoom call later. And guys, stay tuned. We got some awesome stuff planned with Andrew. That is going to literally life-saving type advice, guys. So stay tuned. You know, obviously, as you guys know, he's an attorney, very successful, and he's going to be dispensing some information that you guys definitely need to tune into. But it's not legal advice, though. Okay, that's that disclaimer.
And you can party.
And you can party. Facts. So shout out to Andrew, man. We're building a team here. It's going to be lit. So with that said, so I guess we'll get into the next one. So just to recap, guys. Number one, what is a high value man? A high value guy is a guy that, quite frankly, you go against the grain. You are established in some manner. You don't necessarily adhere to social constructs of political correctness, of earning money the typical way, not having a savings. Like, because if you live like an average American, you're going to have average American problems, which is you have issues with your money, you have issues with budgeting, you have a lot of debt, all these things. As a high value guy, you go against the grain of these normal type situations for most Americans. So that leads us to number 3 right now, right? So we define the high value male, and then you got to understand that you're going to have to sacrifice.
Yep.
So number 3, guys.
Round 3.
You understand money is important. Woo!
Yep.
Man.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
People say money isn't everything, but guys, to live, you need money. If you want to have fun, if you want to enjoy life, I don't care what people say all the time to me, hey man, it's not all about money. It's all about love as well. I was like, okay, question for you, bro. Can you buy your daughter ice cream with love? Can you buy a house with love? Can you buy yourself a vacation with love? I don't think so, bro. So you need money to live life. And at the end of the day, the more money you have, the more opportunities you have and the more choices you can make to better yourself and your family. So to me, you need money no matter what.
And here's the thing, man. I love when people say, oh, money isn't everything. Stupid. Because here's the thing you guys got to understand, bro. Even though money isn't everything, it's a damn good down payment, okay? They say money doesn't buy happiness. It's a damn good down payment, guys. And quite frankly, let's keep it a buck. You, as a man, are judged by what you produce and what you create in this world, okay? You are not judged on how attractive you are, how much attention you can get on Instagram, your nails, your hair, whatever it may be. As a man, you don't get the luxury of being evaluated on your aesthetics only. Mm-hmm. You have to, there's a burden of performance for men. And quite frankly, just like Kevin Samuels always says, shout out to him, you can't be high value and homeless, in my opinion. You know what I mean? To be high value, money is an irrefutable part of the equation, because as a man, your value is directly stemmed to what you create, and what you create and what you bring to the market dictates how valuable you are. And if you have a lot of money, it means that you're doing something right. You're bringing some kind of value to the market. And then we had this discussion yesterday. Yeah. Well, who defines what is the market? Both men and women, right, are the market. And the thing is that when you have respect from men and respect from women and admiration from women from a romantic sense, that makes you high value, because other men want to be you, other women want to be with you. So that's what defines your value, because the market is both genders. And when you are a high value guy, you basically automatically get respect.
Perfect. Good job, bro. That was excellent.
Thank you, man.
All right, guys. So real talk, right? Money is important, but let me explain why. So when it comes to money, right? Doors open up when in certain circles you have money as well. Also as well, when you have money, the level of girls you get is way beyond what you can imagine. So I laugh when guys say to me, oh, bro, all you need is game in this life. Yeah, bro, you can game all day. But the guy with the money and the power can literally take a girl at any point in time. Now, yes, if you have money, you can be taken advantage of. But for the most part, doors open up that you normally will not have when you have a lot of money.
Bro. Can you say that last sentence one more time? Because I really got to hammer this home to the guys.
Yeah. So, guys, when you have money, doors open up. And for the most part, 9s and 10s are not in the mall, not at little parties that you go to, not shopping where you're shopping. They're on boats, they're in mansions, they're online at certain parties where you're not even invited to because you're not in a circle. So for the most part, money does help you a lot.
Bro.
Perfect.
And there was a point of contention with this yesterday on the show between Solo and Steve, which I'm not even going to get into that. But what I'm going to say is this. Solo had spoken about, he runs in a social circle, which opens him up to very attractive women.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality, guys, is if you want to deal with the most attractive girls, they purposely place themselves in situations where they're around high value men. Okay. So to get in those circles, you have to have money. Okay. Because guys that have money don't associate with broke boys, quite frankly.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Men, guys that are successful understand that your network is your net worth.
Mm-hmm.
So to be able to get around these types of guys where you can learn, get mentorship, get business like you can create some business opportunities, etc. You're going to have your money right. And then when you have that type of social circle, the women come with it, man, because there's certain types of women that you're not even going to get access to unless you're on a certain level.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Especially girls that make their own money, girls that are that might be making, because a lot of these women make a lot more money than a lot of the guys.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? OnlyFans has changed the game. There are more female entrepreneurs right now than anywhere else, bro.
Yep.
So, and these girls, make no mistake, a lot of them are making 10, 20K a month just off that alone. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I posted, okay, so shout out to the Fresh Fit fam. I see you guys in the chat. We love y'all, respect. And these guys are learning from us, making money, fitness, and gaming, right? But for the most part, I had a chick text me today, right? I posted it in the Telegram chat for our patrons. And she said to me, hey, how are you? I said, I'm doing good, blah, blah. She's like, hey, so I started OnlyFans back when, when we met up.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, how's that going? I told you to keep going. You know what I'm saying? How's it going? She's like, I just made 25K last month.
Yep.
And I'm like, yo, God damn it. And she started that 5 months ago.
Yep.
And I'm like, bro, like, dude, money is out there, guys. Like, it's out there. You just have to find a way how to get it. Once you know how to get it.
And quite frankly, you can't call yourself a high value man unless you're making a good amount of money. I personally think every guy should be working to try to make at least 6 figures a year, $100,000, which can be done.
Yeah.
It absolutely can be done. The thing is, you're going to have to, just like we said before, you're going to have to sacrifice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether that means picking up another job, that means doing a side hustle, creating some other revenue source for you to passively make income. It can be done. It's just that you're going to have to give things up, especially when you're younger. So,
and look.
Go ahead.
I know some of you guys are not at that point where you're making all that money, which is fine. You're still young. You're working on yourself. Once you're working towards that goal, you're becoming high value. Now, you might not be high value yet, but you're becoming there. So don't get disheartened. Don't get discouraged because you're gonna make it eventually. And everyone has a point of the journey that is gonna end. So you may not be like Diddy, Jay-Z, or like Myron or myself, but you might be the best version of you. And that's very important because you can only do the best. You're going to become the best version of yourself, not anybody else.
Yep. So guys, money is an undisputable part of the equation to be high value. You must bring value to the market, and money is the most honest assessment of how much value you bring to the market. Because if people pay you for your high income skill or whatever it may be, that right there tells you that you bring value to the market to some degree.
Hold on, one last thing, right? So guys say to me all the time, yo, bro, I want to make $1 million. And I'm like, why? Oh, because that's a lot of money. No, it's not. Also, as well, when you say that to me, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? You heard that from somewhere else, that $1 million is a lot of money. However, high value guys understand that it's all about cash flow. Because you can have $1 million in the bank, but if you don't have any cash flow coming in,